Well, I'm very excited about this new album coming out because it is an album that represents exactly the way I am and my state of mind today, you know, as an artist, as a woman. Some songs in this album remind me of Pies Descalzos and Donde Están los Ladrones era, which were my beginnings, you know. So it's kind of like going back to where everything started, but also from this new perspective that I have, you know, from the moment I'm going through and the way I see things. This album has clearly three directions. The sort of romantic direction that I hadn't tapped into for the past 3 years, and it suddenly came to me, and I couldn't hold it back, you know. So it's got songs that are very intense, very romantic, and there are songs that are very rock and roll, which is another side of me. You know, I started my career being more of a rock artist, and then I kind of crossed over into pop music. But so it's been fun to kind of re-encounter that side of my artistic personality. And then the third aspect is the merengue, the Latino, the tropical side, the party side of this album, which was very experimental. You know, I had to go to new places and find new sounds and genres, that like merengue, which is a genre that I grew up listening to, you know, when I was a child living in Barranquilla. That was a big part of my life, and I was sort of missing it. You know, I had some nostalgia for a good merengue song, so I wanted to make it happen. And this time I just I decided to go to Dominican Republic, which is the source of, you know, merengue music, and I went to this neighborhood, and I ended up starting to produce the songs like Loca or Rabiosa in a very tiny studio in the middle of nowhere. It was quite interesting and fun, you know, to do these kind of things that were sort of impulses in the middle of the creative process. It wasn't planned at all. I was just following my instincts, and whatever my instincts would tell me, that's what I would do. So this album is very, very genuine, you know, and it's very personal. Well, the album is called Sale Sol. The sun comes out because it has a lot to do with the way I feel this year. You know, I was probably a little bit down at the end of last year, and I don't know, as soon as this year started, the sun started shining for me, perhaps brighter than many other years in my life. And I don't know, I find myself smiling more often, and I sort of found new answers on the road, and I understand a little bit better what my purpose is as an artist, as a woman. I feel a bit more free and liberated from so many things that hold us back sometimes. And I don't know, there's just some kind of evolution in me that has allowed me to see the world with a more optimistic, I guess, vision, you know, and he has a way to, all these feelings had a way to express themselves through these songs, and I ended up making an album that completely satisfies me, and that makes me feel good as well. And everything that happened with Waka Waka during this year, it's brought so much joy to my life as well. So, you know, you go through difficult moments. Everybody does, and I've been through difficult moments myself. But there's always the sun that's inside of us and that never extinguishes. And this, I call it the sun within, and I think it has come out. It has come out for me this year, and I'm happy to know that. and hopefully it'll stay. It'll be a long day in the sun. you know, originally we had planned for this video to happen in a studio, in a proper studio, so it was already reserved and paid and everything, but it didn't feel right, you know. I felt like I needed to be outside in the street, and the spirit of the song was all about the freedom, you know, and being mischievous and being yourself and not holding back. So I called the director and I told him all this, and of course he was very scared because we were 2 days away from shooting it, and when he saw that look on my face when I told him, Jalma, who's by the way a dear friend of mine, I told him, Jalma, I'm thinking about this video and I think that we should not go into the studio. And he's like, okay, let me light a cigarette. I need to sit back because I know that you're telling me now 2 days before we start shooting this video that you're gonna change the whole story. And so of course he wasn't very thrilled about that. But then when he heard me out and he heard the idea that I had, he completely agreed, you know. And I said to him, let's just go to go in the streets, go out in the streets of Barcelona, and it doesn't matter if we don't have permits, because that was his first concern. How are we gonna do this without permits? And that's what we did. So you know, it was me and him with just a camera following me around, and a couple of guys, and I ended up jumping in a public fountain, and I ended up riding a motorcycle with a guy that I never met and no one introduced to me, and that I would probably never see again, and without a helmet, so I'm probably gonna get fined as soon as I get back to Barcelona. It's like, by the way, a 400 euro fine. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay it, but you know, what the heck, I'll do it. And what else? Oh, well, we ended up in the water, in the ocean, you know, in the middle of the night with a bunch of people who were around and fans, and it was just a great day. And I went roller skating. I was obsessed with roller skating. Everything I wanted to do in the video was roller skate and dance on the beach, and it was just great and easy. And you know, just I guess I've been sometimes, you know, you get a little bit tired of all the impositions of the industry, you know, always doing things in a certain way, and when you can just kind of reinvent the mechanism of things, or a creative process, you can just reinvent the methodology to something. It just feels fresh again, you know. So it's just, that's part of what I like so much about this video. It's one of my favorite videos, for sure. I guess part of the reason why last year it was a little harder for me is because I was doing promo, and it's not always the same, you know, when you're in front of cameras all the time, you're doing your hair and makeup, and you know, doing photo shoots. It's another facet of the music industry that is not as enjoyable as being on the road, you know, being in touch with people. That this tour that already started in America, and that will continue next month in Europe, and beginning of next year in Latin America and other countries, has already revolutionized my life, my artistic life, in a way that is so exhilarating and so refreshing as well. You know, the whole idea of coming out during my show, coming out from the audience, it changes everything for me. It just makes the entire show so accessible to me and to the people at the same time. You know, it's not only me on stage, it makes the audience participate in a way that they're also the protagonists, you know. And as soon as I come out, I can touch them, I can see their faces, you know, I can see the audience, I know how they react to every song. It's just immediate communication. There are no gaps in between us. There is no communication breakdown. It's completely solid all throughout the show, from the beginning to the end. And it's like a huge party where I feel that I'm having a great time too, you know, and I'm enjoying myself. And it's just the enjoyment that I see in their faces, and that comes back to me, and we feed from each other. And that's what I think is so great about this particular show, this particular tour, you know, and what it's bringing to my life. Every night after I finish with the show, I'm not tired at all. I mean, I I used to get off stage with the banana, you know, trying to bring my potassium levels up again. And my brother used to carry me. I remember when I was 18 years old and 20 years old, my first tours. I would it was like an hour and 15 minutes long, my show, because I didn't have a big repertoire, and he would carry me because I'd be so weak, you know. But now I'm just like, hey, so how's everything? Let's just go. Where are we going? You know, I'm so energized, and it's great. It's a great feeling. I think the audience is giving me all that.